Hi, this is Joseph, the host and creator of Sci-Fi Graveyard, as hosted by the Heart of Geek. Is there a topic that you love to talk about? Would you love to share that topic with millions of listeners around the globe? If so, then you're almost there to starting your own podcast. The only thing you need is Anchor.fm. With Anchor.fm, you can record, edit, and publish your own podcast to the Anchor site and to popular podcasting sites around the world. So what are you waiting for? If you'd like to get started, all you need to do is head to the Play Store on Android or the App Store if you have an iPhone. Start the download and get recording today. Thank you for listening to Sci-Fi Graveyard, and on to the podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this latest episode of Sci-Fi Graveyard. Today we're going to be talking about the 1996 film Vampirella, which was released on September 28th of 1996. The movie stars Talisa Soto, Roger Daltrey, and Richard Joseph Hall. The movie was written by Gary Girani. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Based on the character created by Forrest J. Ackerman, Trina Robbins, Frank Frazetta, and Tom Sutton. And this movie was directed by Jim Wynorski. Probably mispronouncing that one as well. Some trivia about Vampirella: she actually is a comic book character. She first appeared in Warren Publishing's horror comic magazine Vampirella #1 in 1969, and the comic ran until issue 112 in March of 1983. Vampirella hosted horror stories and also starred in her own stories, which would headline each issue. After Warren went bankrupt, the assets were acquired by Harris Publications at auction in August of 1983. Vampirella stories in various series were published from 1991 to 2007. This began with Vampirella issue 113 and a one-issue continuation of the original series. This contained a Vampirella reprint, like Vampirella reprints, and one unrelated new story. The rights were then acquired, and this is kind of like there's a lot here, but it's kind of like a brief history because she's got like an extensive history, honestly. The rights were then acquired in 2010 by Dynamite Entertainment, which started a new ongoing series with Vampirella #1 in November of that same year. The series lasted 38 issues before concluding in 2014, and there were also several reboots while at Dynamite Entertainment. In 2019, Vampirella celebrated her 50th anniversary. And in 2021, Mike the Pike Productions acquired the worldwide film, television, and streaming rights to Dynamite's Vampirella, including stories, characters, and derivative works of her universe. While she has many backstories, the one that the movie kind of is based on is her original backstory, which is Vampirella originally hailed from the planet Draculon, a world where blood flows like water and where the natives, called the Vampiri, shared traditional vampiric characteristics. Draculon orbited a binary star which caused continuous droughts throughout the year. Unfortunately, the Vampiri, these droughts have gradually dried up their blood supply, threatening them with extinction. Vampirella's journey begins when an American space shuttle crashes on Draculon. Hoping to save her people, she travels to Earth, where she begins hunting dark remnants of her own race. Earth's vampires originate from Dracula, a forgotten member of the Vampiri race, who left his homeworld centuries ago, only to be corrupted by the demonic entity known as Chaos. And the movie kind of follows that backstory. Each publication had different backstories for the character, but that is her original backstory. So that's the one that was kind of the one in the movie. Vampirella possesses many of the typical powers of mythological vampires. She exerts super strength when facing her opponents and can move so fast that she appears as a blur of motion. Her senses are far beyond those of humans, allowing her to tell one's emotional state through their scent, hear things imperceptible to humans, and see clearly in total darkness. She is very athletic, possesses great stamina, reflexes, and agility beyond that of humans. Her healing factor grants her great resilience and allows her to heal rapidly from her wounds and makes her immune to Earth's illness and toxins. Whether she's able to turn other people into vampires is inconsistent. It was a plot point in the Warren era that she could not because she was a being from another planet and not a supernatural creature. But the origin has since revised, and she could do it in the Shadowhawk crossover. However, that crossover is out of continuity for Shadowhawk and maybe out of continuity for Vampirella. She had the power to grow a giant pair of I can't say this word. So she could grow wings that would allow her self-propelled flight. Her stare and even voice are hypnotic and seductive to humans, particularly males. And she has been seen to have the ability to induce sexual arousal in men simply by being in their presence. She is shown to have the power of telepathy, and she was able to hear the voices of demons inside Jackie Escancato's mind. And she is also immortal. She's also formidable hand-to-hand in fight. She's also formidable in hand-to-hand combat and skilled with modern-day firearms. So a lot of backstory and information, most likely. There's a lot of backstory, especially for something that is a B movie. And let's face it, that this really is a B movie. But
it's more like a C or a D movie. It was oh my god, it was awful.
Well, that would be a B movie. But there's some movie trivia as well. This is one of those movies that says that they're returning for a sequel, kind of like how Skeletor's head pops up at the end of Masters of the Universe. They say he'll be back, but it never happens. But this sequel never happened. The sequel would have been called Death's Dark Avenger. Jim, the director, talked about the movie being a disaster and thought that Talisa Soto was completely wrong for the part. He states that, and I'm assuming the studio, as it isn't stated in the quote, that he was forced to cast her in the role. According to Barbara Lee, one of the actresses that was in consideration, because this movie they were going to make a movie over the last several decades. Jim wanted to cast Paula Abdul in the role, and then he's also stated that he wanted Julia Strain in the role. And one of the things he said she was a wonderful person, and I mentioned this earlier when I was talking to Josh when we were on Xbox. Like he basically said she didn't have the breasts for the costume. So basically he's like, oh, she's not right for the role and her tits are too small. It's like, really, bro? Really?
That's something that you can't really say in our planet now.
But
boobs are too small.
Sorry.
Somebody's getting
sorry.
canceled.
But the thing is the costume's not comic book accurate. So maybe if her costume was a little bit more comic book accurate, maybe it would have showed a little bit more cleavage if that's what they were going for. But they made it so the costume doesn't look like her costume. Her costume is way more skimpy. And
they don't even really explain why she even put it on in the first place.
Yeah, they don't even explain why she wears that costume.
They explain the armband or whatever, because at one point I thought that they were explaining that she could only have so much. She went to that planet and she on the armband, that's all the blood that she had, so she had to make it last throughout the thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what they were going to explain it to, and then they're like, no, this is just a thing where no matter what, it makes synthetic blood, which I thought was goofy. It was just really weird. And I'm assuming that might have been a thing in the comics. I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
I just remember seeing pictures of her. I think I saw a couple of comic books, but I never read any of them.
I never read her comic book either. To me, she kind of fell in the line of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and stuff like that, I'm gonna look up.
Well, Elvira was way better. I would much rather watch that movie. I mean, I actually love the Elvira movie. I think she's done a couple, but the Into the Dark one, I think, is what it's called. I'd much rather watch that than this. I mean, like, God, it was just like not. It doesn't compare to Nightfall, but it's mostly because I don't know, like it makes sense for the movie. It's like why she's going for Vlad and all this stuff, but then they introduce Deimos in like this black leather onesie type thing, but his face is showing, like
That was
like he's
that.
able to go out in the sun with it on, even though that shows his face, so it burned his face supposedly or something. I don't know. The way that they explained a lot of this shit was just weird, and it just felt very awkward and forced. It was like, oh, that's why he's wearing that damn thing.
Well, they like I said, they were planning to make, this is the last bit of trivia. They were planning to make this movie all the way back in the 70s. Was almost made by Hammer Films, which is, popular for making the Dracula movies with Christopher Lee. Um, they would also that would have starred Barbara Lee, which I mentioned earlier. In the 80s, Peter Gruber and I Want a Giant Spider Robot, John Peters had the rights, as in put a spider creature in Superman Lives, but since that movie never got made, it showed up in Wild Wild West. And eventually the rights were given to Roger Corman and Jim Wynorski. And then the movie was made. I don't know if this had a theatrical run. I didn't look that far into it, but this this movie had according to IMDb, had a $1 million budget. So this movie had a smaller budget than Nightfall, and at least the alien world looks better than in Nightfall. Like Nightfall, they're like, oh, let's make it in the desert, when the original story took place in like a contemporary time setting.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just there's a lot in this movie where it seems like a theme with most of the movies that we cover on this on this
Well,
channel, is that there's a lot of them where they explain. It seems like they explain the bare minimum, and then they just like leave open a lot for interpretation. Like
well,
this
the
movie, like, oh man, just
well,
I knew it was gonna be awful when like the first like when they set up the stuff with the dad, where she's like she sees him for a little bit. Oh, I'll talk to you after Vlad. So you already knew that that was going to be the big bad of the movie. But then like the death scene where like he was like, yeah, I'm gonna send you to hell, and he bites him, and then he has like no fucking reaction at all to being bit. He's just like, oh, okay, whatever. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess you're biting me now.
I
And
think
then
he was
it
already
was,
dying.
well, that's what I was saying. But there was like no reaction. And then he talked for like a few minutes afterwards and then just died. It just felt super weird. That it was like, I thought he was already dead. And then he's like, nope, I'm going to give you the killing blow. And then he does. And then there's no reaction. Like, he's not like, oh my God, it so hurts, or like whatever.
Well,
Like saying something with Ella in the background, just being like, don't be mad. Blah blah blah. Like saying shit in the meantime or something in the meantime of him biting him. But it was just weird how like he didn't say anything that long section. So I thought he was already dead, and then he starts talking. I'm like, what?
but he had to come back. He had to come back to life to give her the "Don't go seek revenge." The 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 funny thing, the thing I thought was funny is she saves the nerd once she arrives to Earth and she escapes from the shuttle. And then she's like, I erased their memory, so they have no memory of finding me. Well, your fucking coffin is still there, so they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, why is this coffin type thing still here? But she saves the nerd from like the thugs, and he takes her back to her apartment, and she's like, I'm gonna go kill this guy. He's like, okay. Don't tell the cops I helped you. But he gives her the name Vampira,
Yeah.
but she's not there when he says it. She's already gone.
Yeah.
But yet, like Adam Van Helsing calls her, and they all call her that throughout the movie. Like, how do you know that's her name? Her name is Ella, and then he calls her Vampirella, but like she's not there to get that moniker. Like,
Yeah.
and
That's
but
what
yeah,
I'm
that's what
saying.
they call her going forward. And it's like, oh come on, I don't know. There was like a scene that was deleted. I mean, I thought this first off, I'll say this movie was really kind of it was one of those to me that was so bad it was good, just because it's stupid. But like I the alien planet looked way better than the alien Draculon looked better than Nightfall for one, and so I think they did the best they could, like set wise with the money they had. But like, I mean, like Roger Daltrey is the lead singer of the Who, and he's like he was in like a bunch of bad movies. He was
Oh, so
also
was that the person that was playing Vlad or something?
yeah, Vlad was by
Oh,
Roger Daltrey.
so that makes sense
It's
why they had
but
that whole singing part in the.
yeah,
I
he was
thought that was weird as fuck because I was like, Vlad never saw Ella at all before. Like, I just thought that was weird how he knew the dad, but he never knew who Ella was. And I was like, wouldn't he be kind of be freaking out right now?
I
Like,
don't think
if she's just chilling there, like, and then they were like, nope, he has no idea who it is.
no,
Just
but
really weird, man.
but I thought what was like it was the point that they're like the Van Helsing and the group that he works for, they was like, we have no idea where Vlad is, and then they're like, he's a singer in Vegas, and apparently famous enough for these kids to have his poster on the wall. How do they not know that's him?
And
How?
how were they able to find Deimos, but not him? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And,
They
and
just found it. And the weird thing was like, it was like they made, or at least it's implied that they made all these damn vampires, right? They went to Earth, made all these vampires, and then whenever they don't listen, like with the little monster thing, where they're shooting
yeah,
the sky, and then the sun's coming down on him, and he's like,
it,
like freaking out.
it was
It's kind of implied that they made the vampires, right?
well, yeah, they came to Earth, and something caused them to mutate, and that's why they're weak to sunlight, where Vampirella is not, because
Oh
for
yeah,
some reason
and they were doing that big exposition dump where it was talking about how they didn't have anything tied to religion. That's why the cross doesn't bother her and stuff like that. That's totally fine, but like
yeah, but it bothers
some of
them
the
because
shit
of
in the
the mutation.
movie just seemed like it just didn't make sense. Like totally, like you could tell why this was a bad movie because I mean, like certain movies, they just kind of like they go through the motions on like the least amount of shit possible in a movie, like story wise, to introduce into shit, and then they just fill a bunch of it. Like 95% of it will be like it'll be like maybe 25% is the actual story, how much they put into it, and then the rest of the 75% is like all extra stuff to fill time to make sure that it's like a watchable movie where it's like an hour and a half long, because like there's barely any movies that is
Yeah,
like ever where it's like an hour and a half. This was like an hour and like 23 minutes, I think,
yeah,
which was
it was
very shorter
80,
than I expected, but
it was 82 minutes, but then it also says the DVD version is 86 minutes. So I think what we watched, because for one, if you want to watch this movie, it's $50 if you want to buy it. It's not available for streaming on any stream service. It's not available to purchase digitally, like Voodoo or any of along those lines. You have to seek out the DVD, and the DVD is $50. However, someone uploaded this to YouTube, and you can watch it, which I'm surprised it's still there because there's nudity in this movie. So like twice they show like one of the girls that's with Vlad takes her top off and shows her breasts.
Oh
And
yeah.
then there's the scene where they capture Van Helsing, and she takes her top off for whatever reason. I mean, I don't think there was really any point to take the top off in any of the scene, because it didn't lead to like a love scene. It didn't lead to anything. She just like, I'm gonna flash my breasts, and she takes her top off. And it made no sense. It was like,
and then she wasn't even like, it was like it didn't even set anything up. She's like titties. She showed her titties, and then Vlad just walked in, and it was like, "Hey, titties."
She was, was just showing her tits to show her tits. Like someone wrote this script. I guess you could call this movie written, where he was just like, titties. Oh, let's show her tits. Because like I'm one of those people. Like if I'm watching a movie, I want something to mean something in the movie. I don't want like a lot of like. I don't care for like if I don't see the point of a lot of like cursing or anything like that if it doesn't like mean anything in the movie. Or like, I mean, I could take nudity in a movie, take it or leave it, but if it's gonna be in it, at least have a reason for it to be there. All it was there is just to show her tits. Like literally, that's what it was there for. Because she takes her top off, goes over to Vlad, and then scene, and then like they go to capture Van Helsing. Why is he in a hotel room when his headquarters is there? So obviously he would live in that town. So he would have a house. You would hope.
And then it was hilarious how like, oh man, a lot of the shit was just way too goofy. Like
this movie was really
she was like instantly hooked on fucking Van Helsing, right? Like she was like, oh well, the point is there if you want to kiss me, you know, like, and they didn't even really talk at all. They didn't do hardly any exposition really for why they would be attracted to each other.
Yeah, and I feel kind of bad because people dog out Talisa Soto for this. I'm like, I really don't think it's her fault.
I mean, it's definitely not her fault. I mean, like 95% of the movie, it was her in this damn underwear that they didn't even really explain why she was wearing it. Like sure, people that know the comic book or whatever would know, like, generally that's why she has the costume on. But anybody that doesn't know, like, they're like, why is she in her underwear? Like,
she is like
95% of the movie, all except for when the dude gives her the jacket, right? He gives her the jacket, and then like instantly, like she finds whoever.
Or at the beginning when she was on her planet, she wasn't wearing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
didn't even explain.
She was wearing.
They could have been like, "Oh yeah, this is
regular." Use air quotes. She was wearing regular clothing when on Draculon, but then when she comes to Earth, she has to wear like the Vampirella outfit. Well, I use air quotes for that because obviously it's not comic book accurate. And I mean, I guess maybe that they did it so she wouldn't like fall out of her top or whatever. That's why they went something with that was more covering. But the movie was
it's just
already
like,
rated R.
It really makes sense, like why they even did it, like, or that they didn't even explain why she even had it on. Like she could have been like, "This is like fucking shit from my dead dad or something. Like this is armor that I had." You know, like some sort of like fucking thing to throw out and be like, yeah, this is the reason why I'm just sitting in my underwear for all the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it made like no sense. I'm not gonna lie though, I think this movie's terrible, but I think it's kind of enjoyable if you. To me, it's enjoyable. Terrible.
Fun of it.
but you can make fun of it. It's definitely something that deserves like a MST3K or a riff tracks or something to it. Um, this movie makes no sense, and like I feel kind of bad because I was reading about the character. I looked up Wikipedia. Looked up the character, and it's like I feel like the character actually deserves a little bit more than what we got here. And for the director to be like, it's a mess. Well, there's a lot of stuff I think that went on in this movie, which um,
Well, it's like
caused it to fail.
it's like
There was
100% the fucking director's fault. I mean,
was this
because
one
I
of the
didn't
movies?
think that there.
Movie where
I don't think it was really any of the actors' jobs. Really, I mean, I can't say like all of them. Some of them were goofy. Like I'm surprised. One thing that I have to point out too, I was surprised Deimos didn't get killed. What? Like you're
yeah,
showing like he's like the top big bad, and then he's like, you know what? Oh yeah, of course. Like I fucking said shit. They're gonna turn me into goop or whatever. So I said shit. But then he didn't even kill Deimos off. I was like, what was the point of
yeah. I
like?
think he should have killed him. But like the thing they talk about that there was a lot of embezzlement that went on with the making of this movie, but I really like maybe Talisa Soto wasn't right for the part, but I can't really blame her for that. It's like they wanted her cast in the someone wanted her cast in the movie, so she was cast. And then to say she wasn't right for the role because she had no tits, I'm like I blame that on the director, man. You
Well, like most of this was director wise, I think, because
and
like I didn't feel like the actors at all really did bad performances. The problem is like it was all a whole of like maybe a combination of the writers that wrote for the movie, the director for shooting the movie, because a lot of things are just weird in this movie. Like,
I mean, let's look at some of the movies that this director for one his probably his biggest film besides this one was Chopping Mall, which was a slasher movie. But let's look at some of these movies. The The Witches of Brestwick, 1 and 2.
what?
Alabama,
That's
yeah,
supposed to be like a softcore porn or something?
I don't know. I guess Alabama Jones and the Busty Crusade. Let's see, Busty Cops Go Hawaiian,
Oh
Sexy
yeah,
Wives Syndrome,
it has
Busty
to.
Co versus Lusted Cheerleaders.
Oh, it makes sense now. It makes sense why I hear, oh, her boobs are too small. It's because
Let
all his movies are busty.
let's see the Breastford Wives. So these all sound like
Yeah,
softcore
they're
porn
definitely
titles.
either like porn movies or softcore porn movies.
Um,
I'm telling you
let's
that for
see.
real.
Oh, there's a video of Sub-Zero. Okay. Lust Connection, Busty Cops,
Oh,
Bear Winch, the
God.
Bear Winch Project. So probably another like a parody. The adult film that spoofs the Blair Witch. So that one is actually saying that it's a porn. So
Yep,
maybe it
I think,
wasn't the
yeah.
best. The Escort 3. Like maybe this guy wasn't the best to direct a movie about a. I mean, she's supposed to be very seductive, Vampirella, and I mean, they talk about some people are talking about how wooden Talisa Soto came across. I'm like, well, she wasn't like that in Mortal Kombat, and that came out a year before this. So
No,
honestly,
I didn't feel that she was wooden, and when you look
Yeah.
at the comic book, she actually matches the character more than Julie Strain would have. Julie Strain's a freaking blonde. I mean,
I
Vampirella
didn't.
is not a blonde, so
Oh, here's another thing. The director is quoted as saying, "Breasts are the cheapest special effect in our business." So
Oh my God, that guy just, oh man. And I'm looking at a
yeah,
picture of his face, and he
could you
definitely
imagine
looks
working
like,
for a guy that's like that? The set had to
ah,
be toxic.
yeah.
it had to have been. Let's see, which And I just looked her up. Unfortunately, Julie Strain passed away in 2021. Dementia. Wow.
Damn.
She was a
I'm
movie
just.
star. But like,
Oh, he came out of the movie called Piranha. Yeah. Okay, so this is like legit, like one of those guys where it's straight to like Sci-Fi Channel movies.
yeah. So he was either making like Cinemax after midnight movies or made for TV movies.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of like where he's like, and I'm
Oh, and he did the movie Munchie. Good lord, no wonder
yeah.
why. Fucking
And
hell.
then the other movie, like I said, I think his other biggest film would probably be Chopping Mall, which I kind of want to watch Chopping Mall because I heard it's not bad, but I don't expect like it's not going to be like this groundbreaking film.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll probably end up having bustier females in there though.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
God, this guy's
but,
hilarious though.
but like
Just looking through all this.
I feel bad because I'm not, I don't want to get on the topic of like the sex workers and stuff like that. But for some guy who's made a lot of softcore porn films, and he makes like this supposed to be like, I guess at the time it was supposed to be mainstream Hollywood film, and then just to say she wasn't right for the role, and then the only comment that he has on the IMDb trivia is that her breasts weren't big enough. I kind of blame him for some of the reason why the movie probably didn't work.
Well, honestly, I don't even know how he was actually able to get the role to direct this movie.
Probably based on I would imagine based on Chopping Mall, but
so Shopping Mall came out first before this one.
yeah, that movie came out in the '80s. Let me look.
But anyway, this movie was trash.
Yeah,
Holy crap, man.
I
mean, I can't say that it was worse than
1986.
freaking Nightfall. I definitely think that Nightfall is probably like the worst movie that we've seen.
I
think Space
Nightfall,
Mutiny involved too.
uh,
It's shocking knowing that I'm ranking fucking Space Mutiny over Nightfall.
that's because we put our faith in
Space Mutiny is funny because of how bad it is. At least you can watch that and just make fun of like how stupid it is.
Let's see.
Some of these movies, good lord, it's like, and it's not like I don't like the lead chick, and it makes sense with her too because I think she is the only redeeming factor in this whole entire movie. Like the only person that I liked really in the whole entire movie. Like, I didn't really care for Vlad all that much. It was just like weird. And his fucking scheme for like why he was doing it in the first place was stupid as fuck.
We're gonna block out the sun so humans die
for an unknown amount of time. So we're gonna be the rulers of Earth. It's like, how does that fucking even make?
I always think it's funny how they always find Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always Earth when it could be like all these other different places. Yeah.
Why don't they one time say, we're going to go visit Neptune? I mean, or Uranus.
Your Uranus.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's always, hey, we're going to go to Earth. Okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, of all the places. Like, I kind of understand this one because they were like, oh, yeah, they're very primitive and shit like that. And sure, yeah, like it could be like constraining for like trying to come up with like an idea on like what the other planets look like. But,
yeah, but for vampires that don't like the sun, you'd find a planet furthest away.
Yeah,
that
at least doesn't have
not
like
the
sunlight. Yeah,
not the third from the sun. It's like, why would you go to one that's close? Anyways, that's I know they have to tie into humans, but.
Here's something funny about this movie. Did you know John Landis has a cameo in this movie?
Which one's John Landis again? I don't remember.
He's a director. He directed let's see. He directed The Twilight Zone, the movie, which had a lot of controversy due to 3 people dying in it. What else is he known for? He was in. Let's see. Let's see.
Coming to America, dude.
Correct. Yeah, coming to
that?
Animal House, The Blues Brothers, American Werewolf in London, Trading Places.
That
Coming to America. There were a bunch of them.
Yeah, he directed a lot, but he was the astronaut with a beard, and looks like he directed the Three Amigos.
When they're explaining her backstory on why she.
Yeah, when she's talking about how she got to Earth, and he was
mentioned the #1 movie in your category. He directed Clue, didn't
he? John Landis, I think he did. I was actually just scrolled to the bottom of the page.
No, he didn't direct it.
He was a producer.
Oh.
I think he wrote it or he was a producer. Let's see. Yeah, he wrote Clue, and I thought he was a producer on it too, but I'd have to go look for it.
Wow, story was by John Landis. So
did you know Roger Daltrey also played a bad guy in Sliders? He was in the 2-part episode where they kill off the professor. He played Colonel Rickman, who was like stealing like brain tissue from.
I didn't even know like that he even did have to like he was even in movies.
Yeah, so, Roger Daltrey was like in a. Yeah, he's been in a few.
I think that's mostly why I didn't recognize him too, is because I don't. Like I know the band, like
we all know
their music a million times, but I never knew what he looked like.
Yeah,
so when you're like, oh yeah, the lead singer of the Who, and I'm like, oh, it's like he was in the movie.
Yeah, he's been in like he was in 2 episodes of Sliders. He was in some episodes of Highlander. He was in an episode of Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. Let's see, he's been in. He was in the video for Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff. He was in an episode of That 70s Show, 2 episodes of Witchblade. Let's see. He was in an episode of CSI, the original CSI. And he was in an episode of Once Upon a Time. That was his last acting credit, was Once Upon a Time. But he was, yeah, he was, I'm trying to see what his first movie would have been. But some of this is Murder, Ultimate Guides for Divorce, I guess. Pop Pirates. Oh, he's, Pop Pirates. And that's P-O-P, Pop. And then I guess he started, I guess, like, I think the director said that Roger Daltrey was, like, the best part of the movie. But, like, I mean, I don't dislike him as Vlad. I have nothing against, like, Roger Daltrey. My only thing is, like, who wrote Vampirella, they made him, like, a rock star in Vegas, which means people would have seen him. People would see his face. The only vampire that I liked in this movie, aside from Vampirella, was the one that became a college professor. Because he actually went to her, he's like, yeah, hey, I'm sorry we did that. I'm just trying to live a better life.
That's what made me laugh, was that he was like, I'm trying to be out of it, And
yeah, he's
like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill you anyway.
I was like, damn, the dude, just like, he's a professor. He's got a family. He's got kids.
And then it looked like he was very heavily implied, like she killed his family too.
Yeah, and then she's like, I'll let your family live. So she's going to kill these innocent people who just so happened to marry a vampire, which I wonder how that worked with planning the wedding. No, honey, we have to have the wedding at night. Why at night? Because unless she knew that he was a vampire, which, I guess at that point, if you're marrying them, you might as well come clean with that if you're a bloodsucker. But, like, it does... She kills, like, the only person, like, she should have killed Demos, for one, if she was going to kill any one of his lackeys. But she killed the guy that's like, hey, honey, do you need me to go to Safeway or whatever to go pick up some dinner? he's like trying to go home to be with his family. Like, what the hell? like, I felt bad for him. He didn't deserve that.
Well, I mean, technically, he did deserve the revenge because
I guess so, but he was trying to.
But I mean, she could have fucking been like, "Oh well, know that he's trying to live his life right, maybe." But like,
I mean, she could have realized. She could have realized that maybe, since he has a family and he's going home. Maybe he kind of does. He said he regrets what happened and he's trying to like live a better life. Like maybe he's trying to seek some sort of penance for what he did. And yeah, the kid had a poster of Jamie Blood on the wall or Vlad, but that doesn't mean that he associated with him all the time. He was
that's the one thing, right? Okay, so like when we're talking about the band thing, where they don't know who the person is and stuff, when they explain the Van Helsing thing, how his dad was turned into a vampire from Vlad, so obviously somebody had to have known what Vlad looked like to know where he would be at. And you would think that they would be like, oh, okay, that's who it is. But no, the only thing that Vlad had that was in this Jamie Blood character, or whatever his name was that he had this little rat tail at the end. And then nobody knew who he was. You're a famous dude, and you killed, or you turned one of the supposedly best vampire hunters or whatever. The Van Helsings are like the main vampire hunters for people, but then you know that he's probably seen his face before, but then you don't know where he is, even though that he's a lead singer of a band that's everywhere.
Yeah, like he's playing a show in Vegas.
They literally have it on the kids' wall. But okay, yeah, like you don't know where Vlad is. Okay.
That's what I don't get. Like, I mean, I get, okay, maybe the guy was lying because he's, he doesn't want to be involved in whatever Vlad was doing. Because obviously, if he was at work getting ready to go home to his wife, he's obviously not involved with the master scheme of things. Like, he's not part of the plan. Like, so that's why I think his, like, living a better life was sincere. But his maybe he should have just said he's in Vegas, and maybe she wouldn't have killed him. But so I guess maybe they had him say that because so he would have like an excuse to like kill this guy. And I don't know. It didn't. Whoever, I didn't even look who wrote this. Let me go back. I mean, I had the page up, but I was looking at something else real quick. Something that might be added to the conversation if needed. Let's look. Who wrote this movie? Oh, I already said who wrote it. Gary Girani. What else has he written? He wrote Pumpkinhead.
Oh,
Confessions of a
Pumpkinhead too, though. But
he wrote Confessions of a Teenage Supergirl, a movie called Convention, and Trading Paint, which has John Travolta in it. That came out 2 years ago. So I guess he hasn't written very much. Apparently, is this a fan film? Okay, it looks like the Teenage Supergirl is a fan film because it actually is a girl wearing a Supergirl costume, like DC Comics Supergirl costume. But like, I feel like they had some of the idea of what she was, but the dialogue just wasn't there, and Vlad's plan wasn't really thought out very well. Especially where he's like hiding in plain sight. Oh, you can't find me. That's like the Joker just walking around Gotham as like a regular citizen. Batman's like, I can't find the Joker. He's like right there. But
And that's the main thing for me, and constantly ended up having those problems throughout the whole entire movie. So
And yeah, I think I blame the script and I blame the director. Like maybe Talisa Soto isn't the best option for the actress for this role, but I'm not going to give her crap for that. And especially when I'm going to reiterate when the director's like her tits were too small. Like, bro, really? That's that's what it says on IMDb, man. Like he's like she wasn't right for the role, blah blah blah. I had to cast her, and then you scroll down, and he talks about her boobs. So like obviously he just guess she didn't have the because her breast didn't fill
shit
out.
busty, man.
Because Vampirella is busty and curvaceous. Like she's very curvy in her artwork, and so Talisa Soto didn't have big breasts and curvy hips, but okay, work with what you got. Like I said, the costume wasn't comic book accurate, so maybe it. Because I was looking up Talisa Soto, and it's like she's known for her voluptuous figure, so maybe she does have some curves, but that costume sure as hell didn't show them because it looked baggy and ill-fitting. It looked like it was too big for her.
I don't know, whatever. I mean, main thing is the director sucked at doing his job because this movie is trash. But
I didn't. I think this movie could have been better. So Jeremy, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Just that the movie was trash.
All right.
No, like I said before, I don't agree with the director. I think actually Soto was the right person, but the movie just wasn't up to snuff. I mean, she actually performed well in the role, I think. But when you're given what you're given, you can't do much with it. I mean, so it's one of those things. I think that with a better script and a better movie, it might have been a different thing.
It's like if I blame the script and the directing because I feel like her acting was way better in Mortal Kombat, and I think that says something about this movie versus that movie. Well, Mortal Kombat's kind of a so bad it's good movie too, like 1995's Mortal Kombat, but like you could definitely tell like the movie was like it was a better movie, and I feel like she had better material as Katana, whereas this movie, it's super low budget, so the dialogue's not there, and I really think that the director and the dialogue failed her. That's what I'm going to put it as. That's my take on it. So I have to ask you guys: is this a Rise from the Grave? Is it Let It Die or Rest in Peace? For y'all, I say Rise from the Grave. I'd like to see Vampirella done correctly. I'd like to see another movie.
Right the first time, but I mean, with everything and the technology, the problem is that I don't think that Vampirella has ever been like that huge of a character to warrant like a movie. I think that's the main thing. But I mean, if they did something better, especially nowadays, they could probably fucking do a lot better story, and the CGI would be better, and everything would be better. So I mean, I would say that they could always like make a Vampirella movie, like especially do a fucking R-rated one.
Well, this was R-rated, but
have boobs in it. They didn't really have. I don't know. Like it seems like the only thing that warranted the R rating was the titties. Really,
the two nude scenes that didn't really have any point to being in the movie.
See why it was rated R, right? Like there was no death scenes, really. I mean, nobody like exploded or whatever. Like they kicked him off the.
Well, it makes me think,
whatever, and that was pretty much the only death scene that you really see in the whole entire movie.
I didn't feel this movie was rated R. I thought it was PG or PG-13.
Yeah,
Because the funny thing is you talked about the boobs. Well, Nightfall had a crotch and a boob and multiple boobs, and it was PG-13.
And it had and that they almost showed that dude's dick in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean it's so that's what I think is odd is that I mentioned that during the Nightfall podcast. Is that one to me was a easily rated R, and it wasn't. And then this one you said is rated R, and it didn't seem like it warranted rated R. So, but yeah, I would say from my perspective, I would say, sorry,
I didn't mean to.
From my perspective, I would say Rise from the Grave also. I'd like to see it made. But I would like to see it made in the respect of the comic. You know, it kind of reminds me of a movie I would be interested to see, and I'm trying to think of the name of the comic book. I think the character is called Lobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I think that they were talking about that they were making some about Lobo, though.
But I would really like to see that, and that kind of makes me think in the same realm as Vampirella to me. Would a movie in that respect and that type of thematic nature would do well? Like if she just, anyways, to me a raunchy. I think the path they could have gone with it is a raunchiness, which is probably what the director would have wanted based on his previous credits. Probably actually would have done well with this character, but anyhow, but yeah, I would say Rise from the Grave because this movie, like I said, was trash. But I think somebody could have done something with it that would be better, especially now today.
Yeah, I'd like to see again Rise from the Grave, and I think Josh, you said Rise from the Grave as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everyone's kind of unanimous. So we have one more thing we're going to do. So for the next episode, we're going to each watch a different Uwe Boll movie because during The Abyss we started shit talking about him, and so I'm going to draw each one of us a movie. I got the movies in my Sequest hat, and we're each going to watch a different Uwe Boll. Now, I've seen these movies on Prime or IMDb for free to watch these, so we should be able to find these very easily. If you want to watch Vampirella, you can watch it on YouTube if it's still up, or you could actually download the movie from archive.org. It's there, so as long as it stays. Unless you want to pay the $50.
On YouTube today. That's where I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just buried in there, and they would probably only wait if somebody reported it. Oh shit, there's titties in here. We got to report this movie.
Yeah, I almost commented like because the movie got loaded up like years ago, and I almost commented, "Wow, no one's reporting."
Dude has like 2,000 subscribers on his channel too.
Yeah, I was like,
how the hell he has this one trashy ass movie? Oh, well, actually, I didn't look through like his whole channel. I was just like shocked knowing that he had like 2,000 subscribers. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's because they wanted to see them vampire titties.
I guess so. Jeez.
Nudity. What was it? Nudity. Didn't I say something about nudity not saving Nightfall? Nudity didn't save this movie either. So, but all right, we're gonna draw. So I'm gonna draw for Josh first. Josh.
Please, not Alone in the Dark.
No, I couldn't find a way to watch Alone in the Dark, so it's not on here. Yeah. Josh, your movie is BloodRayne. The first
great. But I've already seen the movie, and oh man, that's fun. Okay,
it's got Kristen something or another in it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's got Christina Lorcan. Yeah, Christina Lorcan, I think is her name.
One thing is, I'm surprised that they never did like an actual like sequel to the games, other than I think there was 2 in the 2 games. I think that they're.
Yeah, they were House of the Dead and House of the Dead 2. House of the Dead was on Sega arcade, obviously. House of the Dead's on Sega Saturn, and House of the Dead 2 is on the Sega Dreamcast.
So BloodRayne, great.
Yeah, the first BloodRayne. Jeremy actually gets a BloodRayne movie too. He gets BloodRayne Deliverance.
Nice.
Which one is that one? The second one or
I think
the
it's
third
the second
one?
because I think the third one is the Nazi one, the Third Reich or whatever.
Because the funny thing was, all of the BloodRaynes were about the Nazis anyway. Or at least I thought they were. It's been a while since I played the games.
Well, I thought the first one took place in like medieval times, so there wouldn't have been Nazis. Let's see. And I drew mine, and I get House of the Dead.
Oh, the main one that I would have dealt with watching too. I think that's by far his best film, even though that it sucks so bad. It's like all his movies are just awful. But like,
yeah, let's see.
If you're gonna watch one, probably House of the Dead is like probably the best one for you to watch.
Yeah, this takes place in the 1880s. This one takes place in the Wild West. The stops the vampire. This is Deliverance. Deliverance is and I think it's available through Prime. I found this somewhere because that's why it's on the list.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he ended up having like a bunch of other movies that were just not video game movies too, but like a lot of them were like tough to find, it seems like. But still, oh man, just Uwe Boll just makes me laugh so bad. Like, I don't understand, like, because I'm pretty sure when I was playing the games that they didn't have any like part where it was like all them going against Nazis, like this chick with dual blades on her arm going against Nazis, and then what's it called? And the first movie is like set in like medieval times, and I was like, what in the hell? Like, it doesn't it just had no. Oh yeah, okay, it had 3 games, it looks like, because they had another one, Terminal Cut. That must be a new one. It says 2020, so
That must be.
It must have been a very, very, like, not a huge thing, but like the first 2, I just remembered that they were going against, like, you were in, I don't even remember where you were at, but like I remember that it was cool, but I just remember the whole time that she would be going against Nazis the whole time.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm trying to look up how to watch it because it was on Amazon Prime for Deliverance, BloodRayne 2, Deliverance, but now it's no longer available in our area. But it is available to watch.
I'm sure that we could find it somewhere.
Yeah, it's for free on Vudu. And
I'm looking forward to it, but I mean, the actress is good in it, but yeah, that's just gonna be.
Let's see. What I can rent House of the Dead Prime Video.
I gotta watch it on Tubi, but whatever.
The original BloodRayne, I think, is on Tubi. Yeah. Oh no, it says it's on Prime. Let me see if it's still there. Because, like I said, it was there when we first discussed doing this. I literally was going to I looked up how to watch it. That's why I had to cut some of the movies off. Yeah. So BloodRayne is available on Prime now. You can watch it if you have Prime. Jeremy, yours is going to be on Vudu, free with ads, and I don't even know where to. I think I have to rent mine.
Well, I think I actually own House of the Dead too. I think I've had it for a while. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I own it.
I can watch it on Peacock.
Oh my God. That's pretty funny.
Yep, I can watch on Peacock. So that's what we're going to do next. We're each going to watch the movie, and we're going to just shit on how terrible they are. Because unless by chance...
And we should be, what's it called? We should be trying to be neutral, but if anything, we ain't going to be. So it's just going to be us shitting on it for like, I don't know how long.
But I have them written down. I'll look up each movie to talk about them. The other choices were BloodRayne, the Third Reich, which would have dealt with Nazis. In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale. The Name of the King, Two Worlds. Those are the other three. Because like I said, when I made this all out, you were able to watch all of them. Because I even said where you could watch in Prime. I wanted to do Far Cry, but there was no way to watch Far Cry. So I'd take Alone in the Dark. There was no way to stream it without buying it. And I'm not going to make y'all buy movies for the podcast.
And that's probably his worst movie, or at least the ones that I've seen.
Although I
don't even think that I remember watching the whole movie. I think I only watched parts, and I was like, dude, this is nothing like the video game. Because the first video game is like this dude with scissors chasing you around a house for like the whole game, right? And little midget dude with scissors just chasing you around. And then of course it had like different thing, and this was back in the day when they had like multiple different endings for a lot of things, but like it would have like different stuff inside of it. And then this one was like, hey, there's aliens that you gotta have lights on for you to see them.
Okay, so when I looked this up like a month ago, Alone in the Dark was not available to be played. Now it's available to be played on IMDb for free with ads and Vudu and Tubi.
Yeah, I was probably getting contracts for it, which I don't know how.
Probably.
How in the hell that anybody would want to do a contract for these trash ass movies? But
so since this movie's actually on here now, does anyone want to tackle Alone in the Dark as opposed to the one that they already have?
Hell no. That's the only one that I was like, please do not.
What about you, Jeremy?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said Alone in the Dark's available to watch on IMDb, on Vudu, IMDb, and Tubi. So, did you want to do Alone in the Dark as opposed to
the BloodRayne movie?
Or here, I'll do Alone in the Dark, and one of y'all can decide who wants to do House of the Dead, and then the other person does BloodRayne.
I mean, Jeremy could do House of the Dead. That way, it's a different, like, all three of us have a different, like, a video game series.
Yeah,
really.
I prefer House of the Dead, and then.
Okay, so Jeremy will do House of the Dead, Josh will do BloodRayne, and I will do Alone in the Dark.
And have fun with that one.
Well, I actually like Christian Slater, so that's why I'm willing to do it.
Well, I mean, Christian Slater is really the only redeemable factor in that whole entire movie. And that has Tara Reid in it, too, I think.
Yeah, she's in it. I don't hate Tara Reid. I feel like she gets like a lot of shit for no reason.
Well, I mean, I think we'll talk about that during the Uwe Boll thing. I'll go more in depth on that.
Because I also had another idea for a movie, and I can't think of it now. It must be because I've been so tired lately. But it was going to be like a movie that made now. Oh, I was thinking. Let me ask you this one, then we'll close up. I was thinking about doing The Frighteners, even though it's not really science fiction.
Dude, I would be so down for that. I love that fucking movie.
I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and especially recently. And it's something that I've wanted to watch. A lot of these are movies that I've wanted to watch that I just never had an excuse to watch. Like now, if I do it for the podcast, I have to watch it.
Dude, so you've never seen The Frighteners before?
I've never seen The Frighteners, and I was watching.
We should totally do that movie. It is so good, so good. One of my favorite Michael J. Fox movies, man.
I was thinking about doing The Frighteners. After y'all okay with that? After the Uwe Boll. I'll find a way for us to do The Frighteners. I don't know how, because I don't own it. It looks like you can watch it on Stars, but I don't have Stars.
Well, I'm sure I could find that shit in town.
Yeah.
So I definitely know that I could find that movie. I probably actually even own it, probably.
Because I was thinking about calling it like, because they consider this science fiction. I don't really consider it science fiction because it deals with like the supernatural, but instead of like science fiction. But that's going to be the next movie is going to be The Frighteners if everyone's okay with that. I want an excuse to watch it, and now then I'll have to sit down.
I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy it. So I'm definitely psyched for that shit. I mean,
okay,
it could be like part of the Scream Creeps one if we wanted to, but it's more like a thriller than a horror movie though, or at least in my viewpoint. But I mean, still dope.
All right. What do you think, Jeremy? Are you down with The Frighteners?
I'm fine with whatever, Joe.
Okay, so we're gonna after we bitch about Uwe Boll, we're gonna watch The Frighteners, and we'll talk about The Frighteners. So I'm excited because I need an excuse to watch it. I've never heard anything bad about this movie. The worst thing that everyone has said about The Frighteners is that it underperformed and didn't make any money. And
What?
to me,
that makes sense.
It was a box office flop.
Then.
Yeah, but everyone who's talked about it says this is a really good movie. This is directed by Peter Jackson, of course, before he did the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So this was him going from doing low budget movies in New Zealand and to then transitioning to Hollywood films and then getting the Lord of the Rings. So we will do The Frightener. So next is Uwe Boll, the shittening, and then for The Frighteners, I'm just going to call it Sci-Fi Graveyard Beyond the Grave or something, because we're going to talk about something that I don't consider sci-fi, even though it's listed as sci-fi on Amazon.
Which is so weird, but I mean, probably because the theme's in it. I don't want to spoil too much. I want you to like enjoy the movie as it is, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'll find a way for all of us to watch it, because I don't have stars. I'm not going to pay for stars, and I'll see if it's on somewhere else. But that's it for this episode of Sci-Fi Graveyard. If you want to watch the movie we talked about, YouTube. Please don't report it for titties because that's going to be your only way to watch it, unless you want to pay $50 for the DVD or go to archive.org.
Or if you could find it literally at any like flea market, probably.
Yeah, if you could find it at a flea market or something along those lines, then you would definitely do it. But I wouldn't pay $50 for the DVD. It's not worth that much. Now, if it was like $5 bin at Walmart, hell yeah, pick it up. It's going to be a fun movie to laugh a lot with and make fun of. But don't pay $50 for it. Watch it on archive because I'm going to consider that a legal way to watch it because the movie has been archived. And YouTube, it's up there, but it's not been taken down. So either the people who own the rights don't know about it, or YouTube hasn't caught the nudity in it. So I say give it a go. And at least with those two methods, if you're going to give it a go, I think you should watch anything we talk about, whether it's good or not, just because you got to see things for yourself to form your own opinions on things. So again, for Jeremy and Josh, I want to wish you all a wonderful night and thank you for listening to this episode of Sci-Fi Graveyard. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Peace.
Hi, this is Joseph with Sci-Fi Graveyard, hosted by the Heart of Geek. Before we get started with tonight's episode, I know things are still crazy right now. I know a lot of people are still suffering with anxiety and depression. I am one of those people. And I just want you to know that there are people who care about you. There are people that love you, whether it be a suicide prevention hotline or your best friend or your family member. Please reach out to someone and talk to them. Know these three things. You are not crazy. You are not alone. And secrets do make you sicker. So please reach out and talk to someone. Again, please, we do care about you, and we want to make sure that everyone's safe and happy and healthy moving forward. Thank you. We'd like to thank you for listening to this week's episode of Sci-Fi Graveyard. If you like what you hear, please check out some of our other podcasts as hosted by the Heart of Geek. That is Morbid Instinct, Wrestling with the Willies, and Scream Creeps. You can follow us on social media. We are at The Heart of Geek on Twitter, The Heart of Geek on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And when we do stream, it's not very often. We are just Heart of Geek. Again, thank you for listening, and we hope to catch you next time.